Welcome to Daily Joy, where every movie is a story waiting to be relived. Today's movie name is Run Hide Fight and been made in 2020. I highly recommend you to watch the full movie as it is an awesome film and have many more interesting parts that I couldn't include in my video. Be aware that this video contains spoilers, so proceed with caution. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and like. Also, a comment would be much appreciated. Zoe Hull is a teenage girl who is struggling with her mother's death. She believes she can still see her and has entire conversations with her. This has caused her to shut off emotionally, putting tension on her relationship with her father Todd, who is doing his best to connect with her through activities such as teaching her to hunt. During one of these hunts, he offers some valuable advice to her. She must always take care of unfinished business. The suggestion resonates with Zoe, so when her shot fails to kill a deer, she ends its agony by smashing its head with a rock. Todd tells Zoe after their brief hunting adventure that they should see a therapist again since Zoe is isolating herself from everything she cares about. This remark enrages Zoe, and they begin arguing for what is clearly not the first time. Fortunately, they are interrupted by her best friend, Lewis Washington, who has arrived in his car to meet her. On their way to school, they exchange swears with some bullies in another car, and they observe their classmate Chris Jellick planting a suspicious object in the middle of an open field, but they believe it is a prank. Lewis attempts to ask Zoe to prom at school, but she declines. Lewis also believes Zoe has some problems, which irritates her in the same way it did with her father. She goes to the toilet after Lewis unintentionally spills a drink on her and discovers Anna Jellick shifting the ceiling panels. Anna rushes out of the restroom, so Zoe uses the chance to inspect the panels she had shifted, but discovers nothing behind them. Several incendiary devices are set off across town, with the exception of the one left by Kip Quaid at the school's front office. With so many fires blazing at the same time, the roads get jam-packed, and first responders such as law police and firefighters are overburdened. At school, a van drives into the cafeteria, carrying two armed teenagers, the leader, Tristan Voy, and Chris Jellick. They're shortly joined by Anna Jellick and Kip Quaid, who are also armed. After shooting many students, Tristan requests that everyone use their phones to notify their parents of what is going on. Lewis contacts his mother and leaves a message that he has no regrets. Meanwhile, Zoe discovers what is going on after an injured girl enters the bathroom and dies there. She escapes by crawling through the bathroom roof and landing in the school kitchen, where the cook is also hiding. When Chris arrives to check the noises, the cook attempts to approach him, but he shoots her. Zoe exits the building through the back entrance after the bully left. Later, everyone has finished talking to their parents. Tristan borrows a phone and contacts the school's front office to inform them of the shooting. The guidelines state that they must check the information before calling lockdown. So Tristan instructs all pupils to live stream on their phones and warns video hosting organizations not to interrupt the streams or he will shoot people. As he begins his discourse about entropy and truth, the school's principal and security guard arrive in the cafeteria to confirm. The principal attempts to calm Tristan down by apologizing for not listening to him in the past, but Chris kills him, allowing the guard to flee. Tristan requests that everyone turn off their recorders except for Lewis, who is broadcasting on the school's social media page and has the most visitors. He has been instructed with following Tristan around and filming everything, while the captives are told to fill the hole the van created in the wall. Outside, Zoe considers leaving, but returns when she hears noises. She stops a group of kids from entering the school and tells them about what is going on. They all leave except for Zoe's friend Cora, who agrees to assist Zoe warn the other classes that are still inside. One of the teachers suspects they are playing a joke and ignores them, so they break a window to try their luck in another classroom. This time, they are heard and the entire class flees through the window while Zoe raises the fire alarm. This proves pointless since Anna enters the electrical room to deactivate the alarm and turn off the power. Kip's improvised dangerous bomb explodes just after the school's main office orders a lockdown. The police eventually arrive, and Sheriff Tarsi begins sealing the perimeter. The incident has now made it to the news, and while they aren't displaying the stream, they are recording from outside. Irritated, Tristan tells the phone camera that the public expects to see him, not a reporter. Meanwhile, Zoe searches the school to warn any remaining kids to leave, but Anna discovers her and begins shooting at her. Her leg is injured before she escapes and hides in a room full with balloons, allowing her to discreetly jump on Anna when she follows her. The girls fight over the pistol, and Zoe overpowers Anna and shoots her. With Lewis still recording, Tristan goes to the Spanish classroom and takes those children to the cafeteria. The teacher attempts to negotiate with him, but Tristan answers by forcing her to remove the top she was wearing. He is about to touch her wrongfully when Lewis interrupts him and says he has some questions for the spectators, ultimately diverting Tristan's attention away from the teacher. He wants to get as much attention as possible. So he is ready to answer the questions. Tristan reveals that this plan took him 14 months to execute because he had to research the construction blueprints, gather the weapons, and so on. A police officer arrives at Tristan's house to speak with his parents, only to discover that his mother has died, her neck having been sliced open. Meanwhile, Zoe's father hears about the shooting on the radio and decides to travel to school with weapons loaded into his truck. Chris is in the cafeteria chatting to the voices in his brain when he hears on the news that the cops have arrived, so he rushes to the hole in the wall and shoots them. Tristan hears gunfire and decides to return, bringing the entire Spanish class with him. Zoe notices them in the corridor, and as Kip moves in the other direction as the group, she chooses to follow him. He is attempting to get to another classroom full of students when Zoe emerges in front of him, catching his attention and causing him to chase her. She leads him down a slick floor, and after he falls, she unloads a fire extinguisher on his face and strikes him with it. Kip is carried to the auditorium and shackled to a chair, where he confesses to Zoe that he is doing all of this because of a bullying episode in middle school that, in his opinion, never ended. Zoe believes he is nasty and pitiful for using that as a justification for cold-blooded murder. After snatching his shotgun, Zoe stumbles upon another set of pupils and their teacher. She borrows a phone and phones Cora, who turns it over to the sheriff so they can plot an escape plan. Before phoning Tristan's phone number, Sheriff Tarsi instructs the reporters to record him rather than the school. He occupies him with discussion as Zoe successfully escorts as many groups of students as possible to the exit. Unfortunately, her rescue is shown on the news, allowing Tristan to uncover the lie. So he hangs up with Tarsi and calls his teammates. Zoe has Anna's phone and answers his call. Tristan urges her to show herself or he will start shooting others. He even kills a student as evidence. Zoe returns to the theater and frees Kip, who is feeling horrible for what he has done and want to die now. Zoe tells him he should be in command of his legacy and persuades him to agree, so she returns the shotgun. While Todd sneaks into the school grounds and prepares his weapon to help his daughter, Zoe enters the cafeteria and Tristan begins asking her questions for the stream. Chris is outraged and wants to kill her because she shot his sister, but Tristan refuses. He believes that everything must happen at the appropriate time. They are abruptly stopped by Kip, who, after exchanging words with Chris and Tristan, fires his shotgun, only hitting Tristan on the shoulder before Chris kills him. Lewis is harmed during the exchange. Zoe and Lewis take advantage of the confusion to flee. Chris pursues them. They hide in the Spanish classroom, and while Zoe tends to Lewis' wound, they admit their emotions for each other. Lewis also warns Zoe that there are some explosives stashed in the vehicle, so she leaves the classroom to investigate, allowing Chris to find her and follow her down again. Zoe enters the science classroom this time and turns on all of the burners, igniting a fire when Chris approaches. Her escape attempt fails, however, as Chris eventually apprehends her. He smacks her head against a glass cabinet and hits her several times before flinging her to the ground. Todd shoots him from outside just as he is going to kill her. The police approach him as soon as they hear the gunshot, and Zoe can only watch through the window as they capture and transport her father. Zoe then snatches Chris's rifle and returns to the cafeteria, pausing only to fetch Lewis's phone, which she discovers on the floor of a hallway. She sends Tristan a picture of Chris's body, prompting him to stop talking to her. Instead, she hijacks the stream and informs Tristan that the world will remember her, not him, which enrages him. Tristan retrieves one of the bombs from the vehicle and hands it to a student, who he drags out of the cafeteria with him. Zoe notices them leaving and takes the opportunity to walk in and advise all of the hostages to flee now that Tristan has left. There is still the minor matter of the bomb in the van, which Zoe resolves by shifting into reverse and jamming the gas pedal with Chris's weapon, causing the van to travel outside and explode in the parking lot. SWAT takes advantage of the opportunity to enter the premises and erroneously arrest Zoe as she is searching for Tristan. An explosion in the next room shows Tristan's body, and while SWAT deals with it, Zoe sees her mother, who tells her she loves her and wishes her goodbye before departing for good, leaving Zoe to cry her heart out. Outside the school, Sheriff Tarsi releases Zoe, shakes her hand, apologizes for the mistaken arrest, and praises her actions. Zoe reacts by requesting that he allow her to visit her father. Todd is arrested in a police cruiser, but he still has a touching conversation with his daughter. They mend their friendship and remind each other of how important they are in their life. After ensuring Lewis's safety, Zoe observes Tristan sneaking out of the school. He had faked his death by changing clothing with the other student, leading officers to believe the burned body was his. She grabs Todd's rifle and follows Tristan into the woods, where he is retrieving money and a passport from a box he had placed beneath a bridge as part of the plot. Zoe does not hesitate to shoot him from a distance, then moves closer, realizing the shot was insufficient to kill him. She mentions the lesson on unfinished business her father gave her when hunting and picks up a large rock to finish Tristan off. When she brings it down, she does not hit his skull. Instead, she drops the rock into the river. Zoe resolves to leave him to die because, unlike animals, he deserves to suffer. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button to my channel to see more videos like this.